Hey everyone, welcome to Tech Trishant. I'm very excited for this one because this is the first smartphone review of my channel. I used to watch other YouTubers do that. Now I am doing it and I am just loving it. So the first smartphone that I'm going to review is this guy, the Moto G5 Plus. If you're new here, my name is Trishant. You might have known from the channel name. This channel is all about technology, the smartphone reviews, the latest trends in technology and all that. If you want to know a complete introduction of Tech Trishant, I'll put a link up here. Check that out and it will tell you what Tech Trishant is all about. You think that you will enjoy the stuff on this channel, or I will be able to help you make the right purchase decision or just entertain you guys, then consider subscribing this channel and hit that bell icon so that you never miss an update. And if you do enjoy watching this video, then consider giving this video a like. If you like the video, then share this video with your friends and family, whoever loves technology. I know most of the people love technology, so share it with them. I hope you have a great experience watching this video and all the future videos if you decide to subscribe. And just be honest, if you don't like the review, hit that dislike button. So guys, as you can see, here is the box of the Moto G5 Plus. If I just open it up, it came with the official device and the charging cable, the charging adapter. It's a turbo power, so fast charging. That's a good one, especially for a budget smartphone. Here are the headphones. Here's the mic, and here just a single button to, I guess, attend a call or play pause songs. So now we have the SIM ejector tool in nice packaging. Here is the tool and just some paperwork. Let's head on to the review. So guys, here is the phone, and as you can see, the gold color looks just amazing. That Moto logo, that the way that shines, the way the contrast that is forming between the black and the golden, that's amazing. I love that kind of a thing. So that's just my point of view for the design of this phone. I've been using this phone for the past 10 to 11 months. I'm pretty satisfied with this phone, especially in the it's in the low range category. For a price point of 11,000, it's a pretty decent and a good performing smartphone. So it has a 12 megapixel camera and f1.7 aperture, which is pretty wide for such a low range smartphone, and the front camera is of 5 megapixel and f2.2 aperture. It has auto SGR. This camera is not at all good in terms of stabilizing, especially the video. Although it takes very good still photos, the photos which you are seeing right now on the screen is taken with the Moto G5 Plus. So for still photos, it's still a pretty decent quality camera. It does slow motion and it has a YouTube Live, which I find very interesting. It does SDR, which is an awesome thing. If I move on to the settings, it says video of up to 4K 30 FPS. But in my experience, when I record 4K 30 FPS, it doesn't look like 4K 30. In fact, it doesn't look like 4K. I don't know if it's the display issue of the phone or the camera issue or something like that, or it's just scaled up to 4K by the processor or normal 4K. I don't know about that. It does full HD 60 fps, which is good. For the camera, I think this phone is not at all recommended. Although autofocus is there, which every camera has, but one very good thing that are the gesture system, and this is something which Motorola have introduced. If I just twist it like this, it switches to front camera, and again if I twist it, then it switches back to back camera. So that's a very good gesture based system. And for the slow motion also, it doesn't specify what the type of slow motion it does. It just says slow motion. I don't know if it's a 240 fps slow motion or 120 or 960 or something like that. So the next thing about the phone is the battery. As stated on the Motorola website, it has a battery of 3000 milliamp hour. It has fast charging, which I personally just love, because if you are just, there are many situations in your life when you are just in a hurry and your phone battery is dying out on you. Just, you want a charger or a phone which, you just put on the charge for like 5 to 15 minutes and it gives you 3 to 4 hours of battery. I have not been disappointed with this phone at all in terms of fast charging. Although it doesn't have wireless charging, that is too much to expect from a smartphone of this range. Although Motorola claims that it has an all-day battery life, but I have personally, when I just plugged it out in the morning at 100%, I had to charge it again. Even on average use, I had to just put it on to charge at evening around 4 to 5 o'clock. So I don't think that's a good battery life for a smartphone. If that's not a problem for you, it's good. In 15 minutes, it does get to 35 to 40%. When this phone is at 35 to 40%, the maximum time that I can use this phone on average use is like 3 to 4 hours, or even on low usage 4 to 5 hours, not 6 hours. So it has a battery saver mode, which is a good thing to have. And battery saver mode, I think it's supposed to save battery. See, when I turn on the battery saver mode, there's these red lines, these come in the button and then they stay wherever I go. So that's, I think, taking up much more battery as compared to before. So I don't know how Motorola have implemented this feature. So now moving on to the display. It has a 5.2 inch Full HD screen with Gorilla Glass 3. I think that Gorilla Glass 3 is pretty old now, as Gorilla Glass 5 have also come in the market. It says scratch resistant. I've been using this phone for the past 10 to 11 months and without a screen protector, and there's not a single scratch, just a tiny bit of scratch here somewhere, and that's a very good thing for a display if you are using the display without a screen protector. Because even the Samsung displays, in my use case of the S9 Plus, I've been using it for 6 to 7 months without screen protector, and it has a lot of scratches on it. Comparing to that flagship smartphone of Samsung, this has a pretty decent screen. In terms of scratch resistancy, resolution is good. It's great. It gets pretty bright. I watch a lot of YouTube videos on my smartphone, and for that I like big screens. That's a bit of a downside for me, but if you don't mind the screen size, or it's okay for you to watch videos on a small screen, that's okay for you. But that's a bit of a downside for me. It should have at least been 5.5. That's the standard these days. I think compromise with the display quality. I'm not talking about the resolution. It's Full HD, it looks good, but it is not at all easy on the eyes. Even on 30 minutes of usage of this phone, my eyes start straining a little bit, and I have to just put it away for some time because it gets pretty blue, and that's very hurting in the eyes. If you do not mind that, you can go on and purchase this phone. For the display, it will not let you down. It's a solid display and it gets pretty bright. Although I have a complaint about this display, in sunlight you may not be able to use this phone fully because it doesn't get as bright as it should in the sunlight. But if you use your phone mostly or in environments where there's not much sunlight, this is okay. It has a matte aluminium finish and a diamond cut finish. The surface is pretty shiny, it has a good combination of some glass type finish or glossy finish here, the matte aluminium finish here. It's pretty durable. It has a charging slot, the headphone jack, the locker button, the volume rockers, and it has a SIM tray. Although bit downside for me is that the volume and the power button are both on the same side. So if I want to unlock my phone, I sometimes, not on purpose, but sometimes press the volume down button. It sometimes gets confusing, although some people prefer it because they think that if you're using your phone in one hand, Then it has a ease of control, that as you can control the power as well as the volume with one thumb. I prefer the power button should be here and the volume rocker should be somewhere here around. If you are looking for just an average case where you do not care much about these things, the display quality or where are the buttons and all those things, then this is a good phone for you. It still has a headphone jack. That's the good thing. One good thing is that even you can convert the micro SD into internal storage. That means that the SD card will not be counted as an SD card, and rather it will be counted as an internal storage only. It has a water repellent coating, so that's a pretty solid offering by Lenovo. No LED notification light. Yes, it's a downside for me. One of the biggest downside of this phone is this right here. This is the home button and it looks like it can be pressed, but it can't. And it just can be touched and used to just lock or unlock the phone. And I don't know why Motorola has made it look like that it can be pressed, or if it looks like it can be pressed, then it should have been pressable, because that's almost the practical use of a home button. Otherwise it should not have a home button. Even we can lock from here. Just for having the fingerprint sensor sake, having the home button here and not able to press it, that's a big downside for me. If I was looking for a phone and it has a home button on it, the home button should have been pressable. That's the basic nature of a home button. Now let's talk about the software. It's on Android 8.1.0. That's not the latest version of Android. The latest version of Android is Android 9 Pie. That's also a thing which I just hate about Android. They are not at all consistent with their updates, although I'll talk about it in another video. Nowadays, especially in India, people have a common misconception that a phone which has a RAM of 4GB will be faster than a phone which has a RAM of 3GB. That the main thing that a user experiences on a smartphone is not hardware. The one thing you can experience on phone, any smartphone, is the software. Software has just faded a little bit. I'll talk about it in another video. And it came with Android 7.0 Nougat, and after a year of Android 8 Oreo release, after a year and 2 months or so, 2 or 3 months, this phone was updated 8.1.0. Other than updates, the Android experience is awesome. It's almost like the stock Android on the Pixel. One thing which is in Android, not currently in iOS, is the multitasking, the ability to use 2 apps at once. You can use Chrome on one side to just surf the internet, and you can use settings on this side. But personally, for me, I have not required in any smartphone that I have used the need to open 2 apps at once in a smartphone. Personally, one thing which is not the Android experience, stock Android experience, but a Motorola thing, the gestures based system. As you saw in the camera app, I can just do this and the camera switches the camera angle. Another gesture which I use the most and which has helped me a lot is the double shake to torch. You can see here, if I double shake it, the torch opens, and if I again double shake it, the flashlight closes. So that's a pretty solid thing for me, and I've been using this. Now that's a very good feature to have. As usual, memory management is not that great, although it's a 4GB memory phone, but it doesn't act like many apps get reloaded. That's again the kind of a thing for software. We'll make a complete whole another video talking about why software should be the main concern of a person as compared to the hardware. So it comes in 2 variants. So performance for everyday tasks is amazing, like browsing social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or anything like WhatsApp, for example. They're pretty solid. You will not get disappointed with this phone if you're using for everyday average tasks like browsing social media, watching YouTube videos, and surfing the net, or making calls and messaging and so on and so forth. Even the exporting time of raw images in this is slow because it takes a long time to process it and then takes a long time to store it. For image and video editing, I would not recommend buying this phone at all. Is it worth upgrading from the Moto G5? Yes, absolutely it is. There's a boost in terms of the performance, the camera, and the battery. You get better processor, better camera, and just for some price difference. So I think you should opt for this one as compared to G5. If your budget is within the 10 to 13 or 14,000 range, this is a good phone. So why did I purchase it? I purchased it when I was developing Android apps and I wanted to test my apps on an Android device. So I thought, why not get a low budget smartphone, low budget Android phone for that. As I've said in the intro video, that I've also now realized that technology should help a person in the situations in which that person needs the technology the most. It should not let you down at these times. So in terms of that, everyday usage, not at all a problem on this phone. It's pretty solid performing phone. This was my review of the Moto G5 Plus. So if you liked this review and it helped you make a purchase decision, then do give this video a big thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not done that already. If it entertained you, then do consider subscribing the channel and liking and sharing this video with anyone who you think might get help with this video or might get entertained. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter if you have not done that already. If you do not like it, be honest, hit that dislike button. But keep in mind that this was my first review. So that was the review of the Moto G5 Plus. Thanks a lot for watching the video, and I hope you have a great experience watching this video and all the future videos. Till then, enjoy your life, have loads of fun, keep loving technology. See you the next time. Till then, peace.